Yeah.
This is Geek Therapy Radio.
What are we waiting for?
And now your mental curator, Johnny Hamburger.
Welcome to Geek Therapy Radio. This video actually doesn't have much to do with my on-air broadcast or the podcast. This is just kind of a one-off video about my top 10 Nintendo DS games. So for all you new viewers, depending on how well this video does, there might be a lot of new eyes here. So I'm going to put a card right up here with the introduction to what Geek Therapy Radio is all about to get you up to speed. And thanks for stopping by. Without further ado, let's just get right into my top 10 Nintendo DS games and why I'm kind of doing this video. The Nintendo DS came out in 2004. That model is lovingly known as the DS Fat. It wasn't terrible. The buttons are pretty it's not very good. All I'm saying is, compared to the 2006 model, the DS Lite, the 2004 model DS Fat isn't that great. All that to say this again. The DS Lite is the one you want. The one that came out in 2006, that's where to go. And luckily, one of the reasons I'm making this video is that the DS Lite is really cheap right now. It doesn't cost a lot of money to get into the DS Lite. You can pick up a DS Lite for less than $40 all over Amazon, and the games are really cheap as well. For instance, Star Fox Command is on my top 10 list here, and it costs around $5. I think I saw it for like $3.50 on Amazon. And the shipping isn't going to be that much because it just goes right in an envelope. It might even be free shipping. I don't know. I'm just saying I've seen Star Fox Command for well under $5. So what that means is you can get into the DS Lite ecosystem for well under $100, even under $60, and that gets you the DS Lite and a few games. So for not a lot of cash outlay, you get into the DS ecosystem, and that's a great thing because there are so many great games for the Nintendo DS Lite. Side note, this video the idea came to me because my nephew, Spencer, what's up, Spencer? He just got a Nintendo DS Lite, and he's getting into the DS, and I said, you just hang on a little bit, and I will give you a list of my favorite games for the DS, and it's going to be really good. You can bug your dad for the money because the games are cheap. So, Chris, sorry. My brother Christian, sorry about that. Spence is going to get at you for these games. This is just my list, my personal list of top 10 DS games. It's not a whole bunch of gameplay. It's not in-depth reviews of each game. That's been covered. However, for each game on my list, I'm going to put a card up there with a link to a video describing the game in much better detail, maybe gameplay or a better review of the game. So for each game on the list, look up on the top of your screen and you'll see a card linking to a video for that game. And first of all, believe me, I know that before I get to the list, there's going to be a lot of screaming at the screen, as there tends to be with people's personal game lists. They're going to be screaming that I should have included X, Y, or Z, but again, this is just a personal list. You know, Pokemon isn't even on this list, for instance, which I know is crazy. Pokemon games are beyond terrific, but again, this is just my list. Not yours, and I mean that in a loving way. So just rest assured, there should be many, many more games on this list. So many great games that it's really hard to make a top 10 list for the DS. But like I said, the DS ecosystem is an absolute treasure trove of great games. And right now, the DS is really cheap, and the games are really cheap. So if you're thinking about getting into the Nintendo DS, maybe you didn't get into it the first time around, maybe you're looking for something new to get into, this is a decent list of where to start. And basically, I got something in my eye. Basically, just insert Pokemon anywhere. Get Pokemon. Pokemon's not on the list. I don't even think I put Zelda on this list. Phantom Hourglass? Holy crap. That's what I'm saying. There's tons of games that didn't make the list, but let's just get into the list. Number 10, Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. I have played this game for many hours, and at first I didn't think that I would really like the game because it's kind of different. You're playing the role of a lawyer, and it's not a Mario game, and it's not a Pokemon game. It's a little bit different. It's kind of like a role-playing game, but It's just a really great game. Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, you should really check it out. That's my number 10. Number 9, this may come out of left field for a lot of you, bangai-o Spirits. Bangai-o Spirits is such a satisfying game. It's a shooter. It's not a first-person shooter. It's just a shooter game, like a flying shooting game. I don't know even how to describe it. That's one reason I like it so much, because it kind of came out of left field for me, but it's such a satisfying, crunchy game. If bangai-o Spirits was a potato chip, it'd be like the best sour cream and onion chip you ever crunched into in your life. It is just such a great game. I highly recommend it. Number 8 on the list, Super Robot Taisen OG Saga Endless Frontier. And if I'm mispronouncing any of this stuff, just take it with a grain of salt. If you know how to pronounce it correctly, correct me in the comments below. But number 8, Super Robot Taisen OG Saga Endless Frontier. Side note, you should check out Project X Zone 1 and 2. Project X Zone 1 and 2 on the Nintendo 3DS. I haven't played Project X Zone 2. I am most of the way through Project X Zone, but it's made by the same people who do Super Robot Taisen OG Saga Endless Frontier, and it is absolutely wonderful. Side note, you can play all these DS games in your 3DS. Isn't that wonderful? Number 7, Bleach, Blade of Fate. I spent so many hours on the toilet playing Bleach online because at the time I'm still super into Street Fighter 2 and all the Street Fighter series, but at the time when it came out, there was no way to play Street Fighter online. So I got into Bleach. I liked the anime at the time. Bleach was a wonderful, wonderful fighting game for the 3DS. Very addictive. Very good gameplay. Sorry, I'm running a radio station at the same time, and there's a gnat flying around my face. Bleach had a wonderful online gaming experience, and it's just top-notch. It was so wonderfully well done. Great game. Bleach, Blade of Fate is number 7. Number 6, Mega Man ZX. Mega Man ZX got me through Hurricane Ike here in Houston. I played and beat that game during Hurricane Ike. If you like old school Mega Man, you will adore Mega Man ZX. It was kind of a sleeper title, in my opinion. I don't hear it brought up much, but it's a great, it's nice and flashy, and it's also a very satisfying game, and I love it. Mega Man ZX, that's my number 6. Number 5, Star Fox Command. Awesome online dogfighting mode. You're going to have to forgive me. Please correct me in the comments below, but does the DS still get online? Can you still do multiplayer DS games? I want to say you can, but this is going to be one of them might be one of those big foot in my mouth things. I'm just saying. My memory of Star Fox Command and playing Star Fox Command, that is, the game was great in the first place. If you like Star Fox 64, you like Star Fox Command, but it adds online dogfighting, which is awesome. And the same reason I'm waiting for Ace Combat 7. Oh my gosh. So number 5, Star Fox Command. Number 4, Final Fantasy 12 Revenant Wings. That is the other game that got me through Hurricane Ike. And I'm saying got me through Hurricane Ike because where I was at in Kingwood, Texas, our power was out for 2 weeks straight. So I was recharging my Nintendo DS using the neighbor's generator. We had a big, long extension cord running into our kitchen. They had a natural gas generator. I would charge up my DS. I would play Final Fantasy 12 Revenant Wings and Mega Man ZX all during Hurricane Ike for those 2 weeks. I haven't finished Final Fantasy 12. I need to grind it. I need to level up some more to beat it. So number 4, Final Fantasy 12 Revenant Wings. Number 3, Tetris DS. This shouldn't need much of an explanation. Again, for the same reason I like Star Fox Command and Bleach, it had a great online multiplayer mode. Absolutely wonderful. And you have to remember, at this time, online multiplayer wasn't such a big thing. You could do it on Xbox for sure. In 2006, you could do it on PS3. That's when the DS Lite came out. But for a handheld, using Wi-Fi, to my knowledge, there's nothing else that could really do that. Could the PSP do that? I'm not sure. PSP wasn't near as popular in the United States as the Nintendo DS. So, number 3, Tetris DS. Great Tetris game because surprisingly, it's pretty easy to screw up a Tetris game. It's pretty easy to screw up a Tetris game, but Tetris DS is one of the best Tetrises ever, in my opinion. Number 2, I bet you can guess. Mario Kart DS. Mario Kart DS is arguably the best Mario Kart game ever. And I'm not alone in that opinion. Mario Kart DS, again, I mean, the one-player mode, single-player mode is wonderful, but the online aspect of it was just phenomenal until people started hacking into it and doing whatever and snaking and da-da-da-da-da. Mario Kart DS, must get. It is a must buy. No, that's my number 2. It's a lot of people's number 1, but it's my number 2. Now, my number 1 Nintendo DS game, drum roll, on the table here. Meteos! Do you remember Meteos? It was number 1 in the UK at launch. Meteos was made by the same guy who did Smash Brothers and a bunch of other games. And Smash Brothers needs no introduction. Smash Brothers is just, probably one of the top 10 video games, period, of any console of all time. Smash Brothers is just a powerhouse franchise. Beautiful game. Almost perfect fighting game. It is just a marvelous masterpiece. So if you like Smash Brothers and you like Tetris, you would adore Meteos. Same guy did both of those games. He didn't do Tetris, but the same guy who did Smash Brothers did Meteos. You can even hear it in the music. I think he's the same guy who even did the score for Meteos as did Super Smash Brothers. Former employee of Hall Laboratories. Oh, what is his name? Let me bring it up here real quick. Meteos is such a wonderful, wonderful game. And the name of the guy I'm talking about. Come on. His name is Masahiro Sakurai. Oh my gosh. Masahiro Sakurai. Masahiro Sakurai. I'll put it on the screen here. Great game. Meteos. He did Kirby also. Super Smash Brothers. Kid Icarus Uprising. Meteos is great. So I hope you enjoy this top 10 list of my favorite DS games. Again, I'm doing this in 2018 because the DS is so cheap and there's so many great games for it. But what are your lists? Let me know in the comments. Let me know if you like this video or not. You can hit the thumbs up, or you can even hit the subscribe button if you really like it. You can share this channel with your friends. Also share the podcast. This is a real radio show and podcast. It airs here in Houston on KPRC 950 AM in a city of 6 million people. It's also available as a podcast because it's 2018. Come on, y'all. I'll put a blog post down there too. Just like, follow, subs, share, subscribe, Instagram, Geek Therapy Radio Instagram, Geek Therapy Radio Facebook, all over the place, all that good stuff. Don't be a stranger. Let me know your geek thing and be the good in the world. Be good to someone today, including yourself. Almost more importantly, be good to yourself, because if you're not good to yourself, it's very hard to be good to other people. So let's share a little bit more joy in the world. And again, go check out my intro to Geek Therapy Radio video. I'll put a card up here again if I can do that. Just go check it out. Welcome into the channel. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys later.